August 21st, 1955. Nestled between the towns of Kelly and Hopkinsville in Christian County, Kentucky, is the Sutton farmhouse. The extended family is enjoying a quiet evening together. Billy Ray Taylor is the first to see something unusual. As he heads to the well for some water, he hears a strange noise. He looks up and spots a silver object streak across the sky. He excitedly runs in to tell the others, but they dismiss it as a meteor. Elmer Sutton decides to walk outside with Billy Ray. They walk around the farm looking up at the sky but see nothing. Suddenly, their dog bolts under the porch. From behind the house appear several small beings with huge ears, big glowing eyes, and arms down to the ground. They begin to move toward the house, seemingly hovering above the ground. The men run into the house and slam the door. The two men grab their shotguns. Overcome with fear, they begin to fire at the creatures. Claiming to have connected with multiple shots, they rush outside to search for bodies. Nothing. As Billy Ray stands in the doorway, a small clawed hand reaches from above. Aunt Eileen yanks him back inside. Elmer runs out into the yard, looks toward the roof, and one of the creatures is just sitting there staring. Once again, the family begin firing. The creatures are everywhere. The shotgun rounds seem to connect with the creatures but have little to no effect. The family retreats to the house and decide to make a run for help. The Hopkinsville police, Kentucky state troopers, and military officials from nearby Fort Campbell converge on the Sutton farm. After an extensive search, turning up no evidence other than a home riddled with holes, the family is told there is nothing that can be done. The kids finally get settled for bed, while the adults remain alert. Suddenly, a shriek is heard. They're back! For a second time, the family must defend their home from unknown and seemingly unstoppable creatures. Throughout this night, the 11 witnesses would endure one of the most controversial and terrifying encounters in paranormal history, the Hopkinsville Goblins.
Welcome to the No Such Thing as Ghost podcast. My name is Greg. You just heard Andy in the intro talking about goblins.
Correct. It's the Hopkinsville Goblins, or people refer to it by a bunch of different names. The Kelly Hopkinsville Encounter, the Kelly Green Men, the Kelly Invasion.
Well, before we get too deep into it, if it's your first time listening, I am a hardline skeptic. Andy, how would you describe yourself?
You know what? I like it weird.
You like it weird. Gotta keep it weird.
Keeping it weird.
Keeping it weird. All right. And right off the bat, if you like the show, make sure to tell people about it, leave a rating and review, and subscribe and all that fun stuff. All right, Andy, go ahead with the Hopkinsville Goblins.
Correct. So the farmhouse, the Sutton farmhouse, it's located near the unincorporated town of Kelly, Kentucky. It's about 8 miles north of Hopkinsville in Christian County. That's southwest Kentucky, right on the Tennessee border. Some of you might know Hopkinsville better as the batter capital of the world.
The batter capital?
That is correct. For over 170 years, they've been big players in the food mix game.
Whoa.
So they're known for Ghirardelli brownies, Cracker Barrel biscuit mix, Red Lobster cheddar biscuits.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. It's Christian County produces the most wheat in Kentucky, more than any other county.
Cool.
So let's not worry about that anymore. Let's worry about these goblins. That's what we're here for. We're going to talk about the family. There was 11 people that witnessed this event in the house. We'll talk about some of the police officers and stuff that showed up later on. Glennie Langford is the 50-year-old widowed matriarch of the family. Elmer, who we talked about, Lucky Sutton, is 25 years old. That's her son. Vera is 29 and married to Elmer. John Charlie J.C. Sutton is her 21-year-old son. Eileen Sutton is J.C.'s wife. We talked about her a little bit in the intro. She's 27. O.P. Baker, Eileen's brother, is around 30. Billy Ray Taylor, 21, he's just a friend of the family. He's down from Pennsylvania, and he's the one that kicked all this off. June Taylor is his 18-year-old wife. Lonnie Langford is Glennie's 12-year-old son. Then Charlton and Mary, 10-year-old son and 7-year-old daughter. So we got a couple of kids.
I'm glad we've got to the family tree.
Yep. So just important to kind of know we got all ages, all kinds of witnesses here. Now let's talk about the actual creatures. There was some people say up to a dozen. They were just coming out of the woods, heading towards the house. I'm going to show you a drawing real quick that was made later on, and we'll talk about that.
Okay. It kind of looks like Stitch from Lilo and Stitch.
It does.
If he had longer arms and was not as adorable.
Right. And bulletproof.
Who drew this?
We'll talk about that in a minute. It was they did some interviews afterwards with several different people. This was an artist that came in and talked to the family and got their firsthand descriptions of it.
Gotcha. And we'll have links to this on our website and we'll put some stuff on TikTok and Instagram. Get all those handles at the end. But yep, it's just a goofy looking creature.
Yeah, little goblin-like, I suppose.
Yeah, has long arms, short legs. It's a very defined pectoral muscles.
Yeah, well, yeah, they apparently didn't use their legs much, so
okay,
because it was like hovering around.
And then eyeballs on the side of the head, kind of like a
it's a weird formation on the face, and then like
it's kind of like a parakeet's eyes. They're way over, so they can't see in front of them necessarily, but they have like binocular vision, or something like that. And then some big ear-shaped things that kind of looks like an aquatic creature in a way.
Interesting.
Yeah, I don't know why. They're very fin-like almost. So, but yeah, you can see that picture. We'll have it posted in the show notes. Yeah, but it's a weird bugger. How tall are they again?
About 3 to 4 feet.
3 to 4 feet.
Yeah,
okay.
so little fellas.
And how many were there again? You said there was like 12 of them?
Yeah, up to a dozen. The family wasn't quite sure because they kept kind of coming in a swarm. Some of them would come at the house. They were scratching at the windows at different points. They were coming up to the porch and trying to come in the door. They were not really aggressive though. In a weird way, they just kept advancing and were like curious of what was going on.
So why would we start shooting?
Well, I don't really know. They were unusual creatures and they were advancing on the property. We'll talk about when they made their police report. The family's not really a family that, locally, like they're not going to go to the police to have their troubles handled. I don't know that that's necessarily in a bad way.
So you're trying to tell me there's some illicit stuff happening on this property.
I'm just saying if you were trespassing, this is...
We've got a weed farm.
I wouldn't say that. No,
Oh.
I wouldn't. There's nothing in any of the reports that say they were doing anything illegal, but it's, a country home. And if you're advancing on their property, you're at risk. You're taking your own chances by advancing onto someone's rural property.
Gotcha. Okay.
So, they just handled their business. They didn't want these things in the house. The one did kind of grab at Billy Ray over the door, but didn't scratch him or, actually make contact with him. It was just hanging out over the top of the door.
Are we going to get any more into this family? And how reliable are these people?
According to, the police and, other people that have been interviewed, they're, an upstanding family. They're well known in the community. They weren't causing problems. Like I said, they felt like they were people that would take care of if someone else caused problems, they weren't going out and causing problems.
Okay.
So, nothing crazy out there.
Right.
In fact, they were known as a good Christian family. The matriarch, ran the house. Glennie wouldn't allow alcohol into the house. That's a key thing that comes up. Is everybody's like, oh, they're down there drunk on moonshine. And
what year was this again?
This was 1955.
1955. Okay.
Yeah. So, and we're out in rural Kentucky, so people make assumptions and they think they were all in there drunk, but she swears that they didn't allow alcohol in the house.
Okay.
So there shouldn't have been any issues with that.
Gotcha. All right.
So back to the photo, the drawing that we have. It came from the case files from the Center for UFO Studies, CUFOS. And that was founded by someone that you know pretty well, thanks to this podcast, old J. Allen Hynek.
Oh, yeah.
They are silver in color, even though a lot of people call them the little green men. They're described as being silver.
I mean, when I hear Goblin,
drawing.
I think little green guys.
Correct. And you're in that alien UFO era where it was little green men. So, and as was said in the intro, they did see a silver object streak across the sky. Billy Ray did.
Right.
There were other reports in the area of strange lights and strange objects in the sky. So people make the connection. They call them little green men, the aliens. So they connect the dots and call these little aliens.
Okay.
But
so these guys aren't living in caves or something and popping up.
That's another thing that's going to come up.
Oh, okay.
Are they aliens if they were there? Did they even have anything to do with the UFOs that were spotted? Because this is the middle of August, and in the middle of August every year we have the Perseid meteor shower, and it was near its peak when this event happened, and it was pretty clear skies and good visibility on these meteors. So a lot of people think that what was being spotted wasn't UFOs, or it was unidentified, but it was this meteor shower.
I really enjoy the rational thinking mixed with, but these goblins. So we're explaining away. Wait, hold on.
That's just playing a separate game. That's talking about
I know,
the
but
UFO sightings.
But you're debunking it away from UFOs. The people are going, oh, there's a meteor shower. But these little green men or little silver men or something else. Like you're using rational. You're using your rational mind to go, they're not. It's not. There wasn't a spacecraft. These little silver guys came from somewhere else.
They very well could have come from the spacecraft. I don't know. I'm just.
Oh, what do you? You can't say they very well came from the spacecraft.
From a spacecraft.
No, they definitely couldn't have. They could have come from nowhere. They could have come from people's imaginations. But go ahead. Keep going.
So anyway, there's a meteor shower.
Great. Yeah.
You can see it every year. It was, very apparent. Police officers were seeing weird things in the sky.
Gotcha.
So, we don't really know if they're associated or not. Could have been. Let's get back to the actual night of the event. Well, after the creature reaches down from the roof, the whole family's scared, and they just start blasting at them.
They start blasting. Yeah. So anyway, I started blasting.
Correct. The creatures were coming up all around the house. Like I said, they were scratching at doors and windows. They're just firing buckshot through their entire house, like out the windows, the screens riddled with holes, the doors, the walls. Everywhere they hear noise, they're just blasting to these things. They see one through a window and shoot directly at it. It flips out of the way.
Okay.
And then scurries off into the darkness. So apparently this one they didn't hit. They thought they were hitting some, but this one was very agile.
So it dodged buckshot.
Strong upper body.
It dodged buckshot, which spreads.
Yes. Well, there was a couple of different kinds of guns. Apparently, the two men at first grabbed shotguns, but they apparently have a bunch of guns. So
well,
everybody has a gun.
Yes, it's rural Kentucky. Everybody has a gun.
So there's no evidence, just the bullet holes.
I like the idea of of Granny sitting in the rocking chair and she like slow-mo with doves behind her, pulls out 2 Berettas from the side and starts blasting at goblins. You know what I mean? Like a John
just
Woo.
right out the front door. Just
Yeah. She pushes back.
right back to the cabinet where she reloads.
Yeah. Real quick, John Wick style, flips magazines out. Yeah.
Well, it scared her dog, so...
Well, I mean, all the gunshots. Yeah.
Well, no, before that, before they even had the guns, it was scared. It was under the porch.
Sure.
It's terrified. I don't even know if it made it back in before they started blasting. It might have ran off too. We don't know. The dog was safe though.
Okay, that's good.
So a couple of hours go by, still no bodies. There's no evidence. The family's all locked up in the house. They're still hearing creatures scurrying around on the roof, and it's now about 11 o'clock. So they decide they need help. So they make a run for their vehicles. All 11 of them take a run through the yard. I'm assuming still looking and ready to fire on any goblins that are running at them.
Right.
And they head down to the Hopkinsville police station. They talk to Police Chief Russell Greenwell. He's, like I said the family was terrified, but these aren't the kind of people that just run to the police.
Right.
They're going to take care of their business. So he makes phone calls. He takes it seriously. He calls the state troopers and calls down to Fort Campbell, and apparently he's, well known in the community, so they gladly send help for him. And there's all these officials out here on the family farm, and they're searching around for hours. Of course, it's 11 o'clock at night, probably 12 o'clock by this time. Can't see anything. Creatures have apparently gone back into the woods, and they're not finding any bodies, but plenty of shells and plenty of holes. So they decide to go into the house, and as we talked about, they're looking for evidence that maybe the family was drunk or whatever.
Yeah.
And she assures them no alcohol. Nobody's showing any signs of
Was there some
being
kind
intoxicated.
of gas leak? Carbon monoxide?
Nothing that is noted. I mean,
Something that would attribute it to a shared hallucination?
There's nothing attributed to it. No.
Well, I'm sure
no
they didn't
evidence of
test
it.
any of that stuff
Well,
in 1955
Yeah,
in a small town.
yeah, there's no notes of it.
Gotcha.
As far as I can tell,
Okay.
nothing like that was going on. And he said that the family seemed, normal. They seemed scared, but not anything out of the ordinary as far as their normal demeanor. They were just terrified.
Okay.
So
What was this farm for? Was it wheat? Was it a wheat farm?
I'm assuming
so
it was
we
just
don't have
it was just a farmhouse.
Just a farmhouse on some land.
Nothing I saw told me, but it's the wheat capital of the world. So I would assume.
My question is like, was the bank going to try to take the property? Was the farm
No.
failing? Were we
No.
were we trying to drum up some kind of something?
No.
Like there any kind of motivations like that we know of? Of course we don't know. I mean,
No, nobody is, even with all the people that have come in, and we do have some skeptics that'll show up here in a minute that
Okay.
came and investigated and well after, but there was no evidence of that kind of stuff.
is there any kind of documented record of their story changing over time?
No, every story that we have now, a lot of this that I'm telling you comes from Elmer's daughter wrote a book about it. This was
Okay.
years later, and so she got the firsthand information.
Do we have any?
And we have outside from people like J. Allen Hynek's group that
Okay.
came in. So we do have some outside information, but
Do we have any kind of documentation, police reports, newspaper articles? Do we have anything associated with any of this
yes,
stuff?
there's plenty of newspaper articles. I'm sure there's police reports. I didn't go grab those for you. Apologize.
I get it, but you got to show me something that it's not just a tale that, that grew legs and got big. Because it doesn't take long for something like that. You know what I mean? Maybe in a rural area and there's not a lot going on.
Yeah, and I mean, you don't.
Is there any photographs from the house? Is there any evidence to even say they even shot up the house? We're so far removed from this without anything that shows me or tells me directly what it is.
If they took pictures, I'm assuming it would be in the police files, but once again, it's also middle of nowhere, rural Kentucky in 1955.
Correct. And so a lot, make up a story in that area at that time with no way, there's no verification. There's nothing. Why would I buy this story? Well, why has the story gained so much
traction? They're also not
benefiting
in any way from it.
It doesn't, you misunderstand. We talk about this a whole bunch. It doesn't always have to be about, there's an angle. That's why I asked about the farm and how it was.
Right.
Maybe they could potentially benefit from it. But sometimes, again, that doesn't matter. And people really deep into the UFO stuff at this point. We're 1955.
Correct.
It's everywhere. Everybody's all over it. And these little pockets of mass panic, or people just wanting to be part of the story, to have a cool story to tell. Sometimes that's as far as it goes. And yes, we've talked about it before. Sometimes that backfires over the course of time, and people get sick of the attention and everything else. It doesn't always have to be malicious. Sometimes people are bored.
I mean, that could be one solution to it. Maybe.
But anyway, we're not going to
11 people.
You can listen to 10 other episodes where I say the same thing.
However, it was 11 people in this house.
That doesn't mean anything.
How would the stories stay that consistent and nobody would come out and say, "Oh yeah, I remember Uncle Elmer made that up," or
It's 11. It's 11 people in the house.
8 adults, 3 kids.
Yeah, cool. The kid wrote a book about it.
Different kid.
A different kid wrote a book about it, but you got all information only from those 11 people. There's no verifiable sources other than you're going, it's 11 people, so that proves it. That doesn't mean anything.
I didn't say that proves it. I just said I'm giving you a counterpoint.
11 people.
If they made up the story, they would have to stand their ground and all keep telling the same story.
Here's the thing is with these stories anyway, they don't always tell the same story. The stories do change, and by the time it got fully documented by whoever wrote the book, I'm sure the story did change from the initial encounter, because we don't have any information in my hands from the initial encounter from firsthand experience. Only thing I have is a book written by somebody else after the fact who interviewed, I'm assuming, the family. They can change the story. They all change the story.
All of these stories come from the family and the police.
Congratulations. I guarantee that story changed, but we can't track the story from its origin completely and totally to where it was then, like where the book was written. These stories change all the time. That's the reason why, we haven't talked a lot about it, but there's a reason why it's like, why you don't see Bigfoot's because he slips into another dimension. That's just an easy way for you to go, that's why you don't see them. The stories constantly change and evolve, no matter what. And between 11 people from the initial sighting to the time that a book was written, I guarantee it changed, but you're not showing me anything that says this story lines up exactly with the same story they told here that was written in a book, because we're missing all kinds of time, and we're missing the statements. I don't have a police report. I don't have anything. So what do I do with that? How am I supposed to say, that's fine?
You listen to the story and enjoy it.
Okay, fine.
Or you do what the family did. Once the police left, they all packed in the house and kind of forgot it happened and went to bed.
That makes sense.
Everybody's sleeping. 2:30 in the morning comes.
Oh, my God.
And that's when we get the scream. It's Glennie. She's laying in bed. For whatever reason, wakes up, looks out the window, and they're back. Got another goblin just pushing his little claw up on those screen. I guess just, little scritchy noises, trying to get her attention. Once again, not being malicious. He's just, hey, it's 2:30. Come on, wake up. And so she shrieks. So guess what happens?
We started shooting.
We're back to the battle.
We're blasting.
We're blasting again. Everybody's back out on the porch. Everybody's in the yard. Everybody's shooting through the walls. It goes all night long. Finally, at dawn,
man,
the creatures give up. They disappear. They're all gone now, and they haven't been seen again.
What do these goblins want to do?
They seem like little curious guys who wanted to demonstrate their agility and their ability to get hit by bullets and not.
This is the problem. This is always going to be the problem. Anytime they're, say they are aliens, say they are goblins, say they are whatever. This is always going to be our problem. What's that thing? I don't know. Shoot it.
It seems to be an issue sometimes.
Okay, go ahead.
And unfortunately, they
these
couldn't
goblins
recover
didn't do
any
anything.
bodies.
They look weird. I want to shoot them.
Well, that's a lesson for a different day.
I guess so.
We'll talk about that on some other podcast, I think.
Sure.
But the next day, the police come back and they're searching for evidence again, and of course, couldn't find anything. There's no footprints. There's no claw marks. No blood.
So let me ask another question, because they float.
Correct. That's what my next statement was going to be. The family said, well, they were hovering, so there's not going to be any footprints.
Obviously, it's not going to be. But then you tell me that they have these big, long arms and this defined pecs, because they usually walk on their hands. But yet they're hovering.
Well, I didn't say
point.
they walked on their hands. I was joking that they don't use their legs, so their upper body had to be strong. But
that doesn't make any sense.
Well, you're taking the wrong things
All right,
to heart.
That's fine. But so again, we're in that same kind of situation I was talking about. The reason why you can't find any evidence is because you can't find any footprints is because they float. There's always these outs for all this dumb stuff. Oh, that's why you don't see that, because of this. And that's, to me, that's a situation where like, well, we got to explain that somehow. So let's say this dumb thing.
Well,
right? Why? And I don't know how serious the community takes these goblins. And I guess that depends on the person that you talk to, right? Everybody's views are different on the paranormal.
Right.
Not everybody's in agreement. But come on. It's always this easiest way out of something.
now especially, it's a lot like a lot of the other stories that we've talked about where it's
a lot more like the fun
it.
cryptids thing. It's part of the community now. It's part of the area. And it's something that's kind of like, all right, look at this goofy thing. Let's have a festival about it. That kind of stuff. It's a community.
Correct.
It's part of the lore of the community.
I'm sure if you interviewed the entire town, every other person would give you a different answer of how.
And to be honest, they might be gathering for that, but they don't care about that. It's more like, here's a fun thing to do for community involvement.
Bringing in money.
Brings in money to the community, right? Yeah, I'm fine with all that stuff. That is fine.
Yeah.
Taking it serious is the problem that I have. If it's fun, goofy times,
well, then
here we go. Yeah.
Let's get serious then.
Oh, all right.
Because
I can't wait.
Apparently, Project Blue Book came into town.
Oh, boy.
And wanted to look into these reports. But they took statements from the military officers and nobody else, of course, because this is the military's project. And so they came and talked to people at Fort Campbell. They just said, didn't find anything. We came out because the sheriff called us. We didn't see nothing. So Project Blue Book doesn't really take this one seriously. There's very little files from them. Several police officers did say that they saw the strange lights, but there was nobody that came forth from the police force or state police or anything like that saying that they saw any goblins or anything like that, just unidentified flying objects. Now, a year later was the most extensive investigation done by ufologists.
Oh, great.
This is Isabel Davis from the Center for UFO Studies. That was the CUFOS founded by J. Allen Hynek. She wrote a 200-page report with maps, drawings. That's where we got the drawing.
The drawing came from.
And interviews with several family members, police officers. She didn't think anybody was lying. She didn't think it was a hoax. She didn't think they were just trying to get attention, but also didn't have any evidence, one way or the other of what it could be. She didn't believe that the accusations were fueled, or that the events were fueled by young men getting drunk on hidden alcohol or anything like that. That came out over the next year. So people in the community did question that.
Right. But I mean, that would be like a mass hallucination. 11 people in the house, they all claim to see it.
If they were all drunk, which 3 of them were kids, what are you drinking that's going to cause you all to see the same exact thing?
That I wouldn't say it would be something like that, because it's just full-blown malarkey. I'm convinced it's a carbon monoxide leak, because that's the only way that it would be like a shared hallucination. Everybody's inside the house, and one person puts the suggestion out there. It sounds like the kid from Pennsylvania is
Billy
the first.
Ray.
Billy Ray's the first one that saw him. And then everybody shares that same hallucination.
And technically, Billy Ray and Elmer saw them
at the same time.
time.
Yeah.
Because Billy Ray saw the
Do we have any more
the
information on Billy Ray? Because he seems to be the wild card here.
He's just a friend of the family.
Friend of the family that happens to be there. He's the first one that sees it.
And he's from weird, wild Pennsylvania, where we know strange things happen.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know why he didn't bring a squonk with him.
Brought a squonk with him. Yeah.
And he should be used to seeing unusual things.
It should have been another day.
Yeah. Why is he firing away? Maybe he just followed suit because everybody else wanted to fire at him, and he was like, "Okay, well,
yeah." He should be like, "Oh no,
this is like squonk.
We got
so sweet.
We got to take care of him."
Yeah.
Okay. Good.
So she also said that Glennie seemed to be very trustworthy, and she didn't think that she would let a hoax or something like that happen under her watch.
Gotcha.
Of course, I mean these are all just her musings, her observations.
Yeah, there's no hard evidence anywhere here. It's just kind of
she apparently spent some extensive time interviewing everybody. So
gotcha.
That's one report. Now, fast forward to 2006.
Oh boy!
And famed skeptic and senior researcher for the International Committee for Skeptical Inquiry. This is Joe Nickell.
Everybody has a center for something, don't they?
Yeah, I mean you should love this guy.
Okay.
So he reviews the evidence. He didn't like Billy Ray's accounts, first off. So you picked out Billy Ray. He picked out Billy Ray. You guys are peas in the pod. He compared his UFO sighting to others in the area, which all seemed similar and also coincided with the Perseid meteor shower, as I talked about before. This is, of course, Joe Nickell. A lot of people in the paranormal community already know about this guy. He's not beloved.
They don't like him
because he's always got something, and we're going to come up with one of his big explanations here in a minute.
Sure.
So that was the meteor shower was at its peak, very visible. Every year at the same time, we travel through the trail of dust from the Swift-Tuttle comet, and that's what causes this meteor shower. So it's a big deal. Nickell suggests that they saw a small meteor, and then that just caused a little bit of panic, a little bit of chaos. But then it doesn't really explain the goblins necessarily. So his explanation, owls.
Okay.
Specifically, the great horned owl has long wings with talons, yellow eyes, long ears, and a big round head.
Gotcha.
Now, they did describe these creatures as silver.
Right.
Which could be problematic because great horned owls don't come in silver. But they were reflecting the moonlight.
Don't come in silver like you're buying a car. Great horned owls, they only come in red. We've got this new pearlescent blue. They don't come in silver, though.
No silver.
Go ahead.
But Joe Nickell explains that they were reflecting the moonlight.
Well, that sounds feasible. Why is it 12 owls constantly walking toward them doing sweet flips when they get shot at?
Because owls are active at night, as we know.
Oh, great.
And they will become very aggressive when defending their nests.
Okay.
Which doesn't really sound like what the goblins were doing, because if an owl is defending its nest, I think it's going to really come at you.
Yeah, it's going to scratch. Here's the other problem. I mean, okay, this is great. Don't like the owl thing. None of it makes any sense. And so the easiest way to be a skeptic is not to try to go, let me insert something else here to explain why they saw silver dudes floating. Because number one, an owl doesn't float, an owl flies. They're not going to hover in place.
It's gonna flap its wings.
Number two,
at least a little.
Why go through the effort to go, maybe it was this? Here's the way you do it. Didn't happen. Done. I don't have to explain what they saw because they didn't see anything.
I would like to point out the one difference between you and Joe Nickell. You don't have an institute, so maybe his arguments work better.
You know what? You're right. Touche.
But
go ahead.
One more thing about owls that they don't have in common with these creatures. Owls aren't bulletproof.
Well, true. Yeah. They also don't have very defined pectoral muscles.
Well, that could have been the way the moon was reflecting.
I don't know.
Okay.
It was on that photograph, it's very accentuated. They have Arnold in his prime chests. They're pretty cut, these goblins.
Now, we already kind of talked about whether they came from UFOs, and you didn't like me saying it that way.
Uh-huh.
And you brought up caves.
Yeah.
Now, you might think there's cave systems nearby,
Right.
but not really that close. Like,
Gotcha.
you're talking, an hour and a half, 2 hours away to the bigger cave systems in southern Kentucky, because we're talking about all the way on the western side.
Right. Yeah.
But there are a lot of people that do think that there was two separate events, that either the UFOs were just flying around on their own,
Having fun. Yeah.
or it was just meteors.
Yeah.
And so they were goblins. That's how we get the different names, and it's a little controversial among skeptics, believers, and believers.
Here's the biggest thing is also goblins aren't real. They're fantasy creatures that make believe.
Unless they are, and they just don't come out that often.
No. But what?
Well, maybe it's not called a goblin. We just have to assign a name to it.
I just don't understand why
could be some sort of creature that we just don't know about.
I just don't know why it's so hard for people to go. Goblins aren't real. Fairies aren't real.
What if it's
all
just
these things aren't real?
Some sort of underground dwelling creature that we don't know about, or nocturnal creature even. But if it did live underground, that would make sense that it has the pale coloring, the silver. That would make more sense for an underground creature. The big, huge eyes.
All right, okay, but here's the other problem with that. It's a thing that we don't see. It's not a document. There was 11 of them or 12 of them. There was 12 of them coming after one family's house. If there's 12 of a thing, all just kind of walking in a field toward a house or on top of the house or really curious about people, there's 12 of them. You're gonna see them again. It's gonna be a thing.
Well, maybe the family saw them after this, and they just got tired of people coming in and telling them it was great horned owls, or nothing happened.
All right, let's move on.
All right, so we'll finish up and we'll talk about the celebration that they have.
Okay.
So every year they've had a couple of different ones. The first kind of got shut down around COVID. Of course, the anniversary is August 21st every year. So the third week of August, they always have the Kelly Green Men Festival now. It's actually down in Hopkinsville, just in the area. The farmhouse doesn't stand anymore, so the property's believe been sold on, but nobody lives there anymore.
Gotcha.
So it's just celebrated by the town. The family doesn't really have anything to do with it. They have come out and done interviews for different people over the years, and still discussed it, but they're not the ones that run this festival. It's actually the city of Hopkinsville. And in their museum, the Pennyroyal Area Museum down in Hopkinsville, they have a permanent display. They have a few odd things in there. They also have a display dedicated to Edgar Cayce, who is the sleeping prophet he was also born in the area just outside of Hopkinsville. And that's something that we'll discuss at a later time that I'm sure you'll enjoy.
Okay. Yes, sounds
just
great.
as well. But while I was researching this, I also came across some other fun things that I know you like. Steven Spielberg, also connected to J. Allen Hynek because of Close Encounters of the Third Kind.
Uh-huh.
I know you like that conversation.
Loved it.
So apparently, while Spielberg was working on this movie, he was doing all this research, going back and forth with Hynek, and Hynek shared this case with him. And originally, Spielberg decided that he wanted to film a scene in Close Encounters of a terrifying invasion at a farmhouse.
Oh.
And he decided, well, that doesn't quite fit what I'm doing for this movie.
Right.
So that's going to be the next project. So he had a whole movie written out. He called it Night Skies. And it was pretty much the Kelly Goblin experience, but amped up to 11. Like apparently they were going to be very aggressive. It was going to be full on horror, but he got off working on other projects and he apparently got cold feet with it. So that project never actually saw it didn't progress any past the original script. What he did decide to do was change it. And instead of making an intense horror movie, he wanted to make a kids movie.
Oh.
So technically, E.T. is based off of the Kelly Hopkinsville Goblin.
All right, great.
Now, there is another movie that wasn't officially drawn from this story, but if you've seen the movie Critters,
Okay, yeah.
other than their little fur balls instead of 3-foot silvery shiny creatures, the movie takes a lot of the beats from this story. Like the UFO shows up, looks like a meteor. Then they start attacking the little house.
Yeah.
Family starts blasting.
Family, it's all kind of the same, yeah.
And they're mostly bulletproof. It's hard to kill them.
And they're quick.
Yeah.
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 Okay.
So got a little Hollywood influence there for you.
Always have to, yeah, we're always putting the pop culture in there.
Well, I mean,
it makes sense.
Yeah.
It's technically part of it. It's, it's a part of myth and legend. It's the same as making a movie about it. Same as writing a comic book about it.
Right. And,
it's all,
when you have something as influential as the story that...
Yeah, so influential.
Obviously happened.
Considering, I mean, again, I know nothing about this stuff. I mean, that was kind of the conceit of the podcast to begin with. I think most of this is goofy, and I don't see how people believe a lot of it. But Andy's also, you're filling me in all the stuff that I don't know because I never was really interested in it.
Right. Now you're aware that,
and
in the great state of Kentucky, there could be some goblins running around, or little green men, or
something.
Something happens.
Just shut up. All right. Is that all we got, man?
That's all we got.
Andy, where can they reach us?
Well, you can go to our website, no such thing as ghost.show. While you're there, there's a mic. You can leave us your stories. You can tell us what you think of the show. You can go to the merch tab, buy a t-shirt or a hoodie. Then you can hop over to TikTok, no such thing as Ghost Pod, Instagram, no such thing as Ghost Pod, and Facebook, no such thing as Ghosts. You can head over to Apple Podcasts, leave us a 5-star review.
Yes. And wherever you listen.
Review. Everywhere, if there's a review or a comment, please do. Please share.
Yep. And tell people about us. We appreciate the people that are listening, and we appreciate people, that are talking about the show and everything else. Just keep sharing it.
Yep.
And then also, give us some ideas of what maybe what you want us to talk about. Andy will do his research and write his stuff up.
Yep.
And then
any stories you want to share with us, we'd be more than happy to. Also at Gmail, no such thing as ghostpod@gmail.com. But, we'd like to get your stories and talk about those. Now, be prepared, Greg. Maybe a little harsh.
Yep, it's just the name of the game.
That's
right?
how we do it here. So
don't take it personal.
It's all in good fun.
Yeah. But all right, that's it. See you guys next time.